How did you introduce yourself to your new kicker? Did you know his name before he went 5 for 5 last night? And what does that do for the morale, considering where you were a week ago at this time?
I definitely during the week, especially for us on the O-line, like protecting him, trying to give him time. So we got to know him. He did a great job. And then, there were some big moments last night that he was able to come through for us and made a difference. So super thankful for him.
Chris, for the offensive line as a unit, what was the biggest difference in your opinion from week 1 to week 2?
Just really, really focused on the details of things and not getting lost. And just our communication aspect in terms of our combinations, I think we were hyper vigilant about communicating to each other and leaving less unblocked guys in the hole. And I think we did a great job last night.
Have you been able to watch the game back yet at all, just to see what Bijan was doing in that game? Because he had some spectacular moments of just being able to navigate his way through, the run blocking that you guys were doing.
Yeah, I think with everything, especially in the wide zone stuff, we just want to get stretch and then on the backside build a wall. And if he gets even a crease, he's going to take it. And so I think last night showed that. He makes the first guy miss probably more than anybody in the NFL. And so our goal up front is to get him to the second and third level without getting touched. And when he has that, that's the chance when he has those explosive runs. And same thing with Tyler. We were just watching it, and Tyler's tracks are so good, and he sets up the block and he reads it better than probably anybody in the NFL. And Tyler lowering his pads and got a lot of really important short yardage and just explosive runs.
Raheem said post-game that you had a lot of energy heading into yesterday's game. What was going through your mind, and where did that energy come from?
Just excited. I think, we knew it was a huge moment for us and a huge opportunity. And I think playing in Minnesota is one of the best environments in the NFL. And so when we had that, we knew the challenges that we were going to face. And I think the responsibility, too, of not getting it into a drop back game. I think when you get into these environments on the road and you start throwing the ball, the D linemen really get juiced up. The fans are really into it, and it makes it harder. And so when we're able to be efficient on first and second down, it makes the third downs easier. And Mike did a great job communicating to us in the pass game, too. When we have that cohesion as an offense, everything's easier.
Wanted to ask you, you mentioned that loud environment, just what you saw out of Mike and being able to operate this offense when, you can't communicate maybe as perfectly as you want to in some of those situations.
Yeah, he's calm, collected, but also hyper aware. You have the play clock. He was on it. He knew when he was pressed on time, and did a great job communicating with us. There's certain times when you're out there, you have one cadence, but there's 3 seconds left. Obviously you can't go through the cadence twice. So he did a great job communicating those changes to us. And, I can't speak highly enough of him. I mean, now this is in the 5 games or whatever it's been with Mike. These are 2 big Sunday night football games that we've played, and his communication is excellent.
It's very different, but kind of like how an O-line needs to be in sync, so do the punter, long snapper, and kicker when it comes to a field goal. So how impressive was it that Bradley, Liam, and Parker were able to pull off such a performance after not working with each other for all that long at all?
Yeah, just this speaks to the pros that they are, and Marquise, the way how such a great job he does with them. So much of the NFL is predicated on operation time. So snap, hold, kick, I don't know the number, but those guys do, has to be off in a certain amount of operation time to beat a lot of the times the defender that's rushing outside the wing. You're barely blocking that guy. You're saying operation time is going to beat that guy. And so obviously the fact that they were able to do that, with short week together was impressive.
Thank you.
Chris, what was it like for you guys when you're on the sideline there getting a blow to see this defense and what they were able to do, getting to the quarterback and creating turnovers and doing all those things that it sounded like they wanted to do coming into the season?
Yeah, I think we were just feeding off of each other, the energy on all 3 sides of the ball. And it was really cool last night to watch, all the young guys, get a big milestones, first sacks, first interceptions. and just the energy and physicality that they were playing with. And we got to see a little bit of it in team meeting today, just the film of how physical they were playing. And, we feel that in practice every day. And then to watch them go out and do that in the game was really special. And, they gave us, the time of possession stuff is those guys were getting off the field. We were staying on the field, and really good teamwork.
But yeah, Chris, how are things coming with you and Elijah on the right side now, 2 games in and trying to blend things together over there?
A lot better. I think, I thought our communication was good last week. But then I think even better now, we're getting a little bit better at spacing, seeing things, communicating. And it's 2% marginal, like, better, but that's a lot, and it's going to continue to get better between the two of us. And he's great. Being, I think Elijah's year 8 or 9, so it's like it's good. He knows exactly what he's seeing and what he needs from me, and what I need from him, and so we're continuing to hammer that out. But it's been really good.
And just looking ahead to the Panthers, I think Derek Brown's back. I haven't done a lot of work. So I know y'all will get busy on that, but those battles are always tough with them, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, they they got a lot of talent on there. They brought in some really good guys too. Wharton from Kansas City is a very good player, and obviously Derek missed last year with an injury, and he's back, and he's probably one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. We have a ton of respect for him, the way he plays, the hustle and effort he plays with, and he's an every down player. So, big challenge ahead for us.
Just last night, the effort from the defense. What'd you see out of the young guys who stepped up and made their presence felt, and is that now the expectation moving forward?
Yeah, I feel like definitely that's always the expectation, to go out there and do our jobs, and not only do it, but do it at a high level. And it was just really exciting seeing a lot of young guys go out there and make plays for the first time, and just let their name be called. And especially in a game like a primetime game like that, like last night, it was really good to see, really encouraging.
Yeah, hey, Ruke, on that excitement, I just wanted to kind of ask, what is the feeling like when you're on the sideline like that, and it felt like all these guys are kind of getting involved, getting their turn to get in the backfield there?
It feels electric, and as a competitor, when you see somebody get one, you like, dang, I got to get a piece of something before I leave here. You don't want to leave here empty-handed. And I feel like that's kind of what the mindset was. And we were just all feeding off each other. One person got one and everybody's like, oh, I need to get one. And another person gets one. And then it's like, okay, I need to get one now. And then it just keeps rolling and rolling like that. So it was really good to see.
Raheem said post-game that he wasn't sure whether sacks were contagious, but they sure are fun. Do you think they're contagious, though, with what you just said?
I definitely do think they're contagious, especially when the young guy pops it off with the first one. You're like, okay, I got to go out there and get my name called. And I feel like energy is contagious on teams throughout whatever phase it is, If you see somebody out there strapping it up, you want to go out there and strap it up. If you see somebody out there getting sacks, you want to go out there and get sacks. So I feel like energy is contagious.
How excited were you to get your first sack?
I was very excited. I wish it came last year, but everything happens for a reason. But getting a sack like that on prime time, it really feels good, and I'll feed off of that and just keep them rolling.
Do you feel a difference already with this defense? Because we can see it, that there seems to be more energy, but what's it like on the field in those moments?
I feel like, yeah, the big part is energy, and camaraderie. This year we were very intentional on getting to know one another and learning each other's why, and knowing why guys play and who they play for and what they play for. And ultimately it just makes you play harder for your brother, because you know what they're doing and how hard they're, and who they're going, oh my gosh, let me rephrase that, but who they're going for and who they're out there playing for, and it makes you play harder for them. And I feel like that was very intentional for us this year, and so it was really good to see last night.
You probably didn't have time to find out what Parker Romo Y is. Probably didn't have a chance to hang out. But what is that? What does that do to a team that, a week ago was as probably down as you could get, to have him, step up in the moment and own?
It was really good to see. I just learned his name a couple of days ago. I was in the tub and he came in there, and then we chopped it up for a little minute. But it was really good to see him go out there and just execute, man. It brings a lot of life to the team, especially being. I'm sure it was a hectic week for him, flying in and then coming in and having to play in such a high caliber game and going out there and performing. I'm really happy for his success, and I just hope it goes on throughout the season.
Does he know your name is the question.
I think he knows my name. We had like a little 2-minute conversation. I was in the hot tub the other day, and then he came in there, and I was like, just being in the league for these past 2 years, you see a new face every day. So it's just kind of like you learn new people and you talk to them real quick, and that's how the bonds form. So.
All good?
Ruke, let me try to get one in. Ruke, what would be the key for you all to keep things going defensively when you play the Panthers on Sunday?
We just have to take it one day at a time. That performance didn't just happen. It came with the preparation throughout the week. And I feel like if we take that same formula that we did this week into all the other weeks going on, it'll be very good for our success going on as a team.